Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shadow, the universe not the best here, and welcome to Live and Wired, episode 103. How is that legal? Joining me, we have, well, me. And in the chat, of course, we have Under the Veil, working the moderation. Hello, everyone. Glad to see everyone who can make it. Sorry to see everyone who can't. And saw a comment from Matthias Carlson saying, or Matthias, not certain, say they look forward to watching it later. They can never get these when they're live because I start it as soon as they have to go to work. And yeah, it's unfortunately impossible to not get in the way of someone's schedule, I'm afraid. Thank you, Adam. The AC is functional. I thought I had made it semi-clear in the video I had put up last Sunday that all of the stuff with the AC was past tense and that at that time it had been fixed, but there were still a lot of comments talking about, hey, we really hope your AC gets sorted out. And I was like, well, it has been. That was the end of the story there. But you know, in the time since I have gone back up into the attic and kind of tapped on the bottom of the flex just to check, is like, is there water in there? And no, there isn't. So everything's looking good. Thank you, Jake. Thank you. We're watching the Freddy and Jason videos. But yeah, I was trying to contact Thick Black Daddy. I have not heard from him today. He's been offline on my end. Last activity I saw from him was today, but it was before I woke up. So I don't know if he just had a really, really long day and he's sleeping. I did not bring up that, by the way, Live and Wired is today. So you can hold that on me. I tend to wait till the last minute to be like, by the way, we're going live. I probably should bring up people's schedule a little bit more frequently. I guess that's kind of on me too. Thank you, Joey Valenzuela. Love you, bro. Keep it up. Glad you're still doing your thing. Yeah. Doing my best. Speaking of super chats, though, there was a super chat at the end of the last stream. And from the position I was in and Thick Black Daddy, if he were here, I assume he would be taking my side on this. We had ended the stream before the super chat actually showed up on our side. There is that time delay back and forth, unfortunately. But Brian Evans had dropped $20 at the end of the last show. They said, "Long live Decker Shadow. Please quote your famous tag." And the body count rises. Love all you do, brother. And then after seeing that, it just close the stream without saying that, it's like, what the hell? I got robbed. Sorry. There's a little lag there. Happens sometimes. Very sorry about that. But hopefully you saw that part. But in things, on the topic of things from previous, I gotta mute my phone. I gotta remember to do that. Have the memories of the muting. There we go. But on the topic of things from last week, last 2 weeks, I think Black Daddy was asking if we should do this as a weekly show, which might actually be easier for him to keep schedule on and such. It might be easier for everyone to just think, like, it's Saturday, it's Live and Wired, and not just, it's Saturday, but is it the right Saturday? I know, Tara, you prefer I just feed you more often, but you get a can of food a day. There's cats living on the street that ain't that good off, and you know that because you was living on the street before. But yeah, thumbnail is great. That's a thing, and that's also there's well, on the topic of old Live and Wired polls. Last Live and Wired poll we had was for found footage film that's pandemic themed, and at the time, The Day the Earth Couldn't Wipe was the clear winner with a few hundred votes. Since then, it's actually climbed up to 3.8 thousand votes, and The Day the Earth Couldn't Wipe fell down to a strong but second place behind 28 months of quarantine later, coming in at 37% versus The Day the Earth Couldn't Wipe's 34%. So How's Lou? Lou is just we need to get a fence. Lou is she's doing her thing, but we can tell she wants to be outside more often. She wants to be running around and playing with toys and squeaking things and such. And I'm a very busy guy, and Charlie is a very disabled woman, and it's kind of difficult to give her quite as much attention as she has energy for. So we need to figure out a fencing situation so that the dog can be happier. When we go out and we take her walk and she does her business and we come back inside and I'm like, yay, you did good, and I hand her the cookie and she's just there like, that's a sign of a sad dog. No. Jurassic Park style fence? Maybe. She's a strong dog too. Yeah, on the topic of other things that the Live and Wired polls have been, there was a previous Live and Wired poll talking about after the Master Chief face reveal in the episode Hard Hat's Not Required. Asked, what's the next body parts that should be revealed of Master Chief? And his butt won. And evidently someone at Paramount Plus watched that, because the next thing you know, his butt was on display. But that's not the topic of today's little thing they did with the Halo TV show. Oh no. Master Chief, he boinking. He doing a boink. He getting all the Halo. The Halo ring fits around the stuff. Yes, it does. And whoo. Okay. This requires some explanation. Okay, number one. The Halo TV series is the Silver Timeline, so it's not canon. The Halo TV series writers specifically avoided the video games because I don't know why. They seem to brag about it in articles before the show released, like they thought that the games being video games was just like so... it couldn't possibly make a good story. So by avoiding anything at all to do with the games, then they're good. They specifically were like, we're looking at the novels. Books know how to tell stories. Games don't. And seeing online discussions about, like, back and forth about whether or not this is a good idea, it's quite telling the amount of people who just have no fucking idea how good video games are at telling stories. Because I've seen arguments like, well, what are they supposed to do? What, episode 1 is like level 1? It's like they think that games are like Pong or at most Super Mario Brothers on NES. It's like, Halo has always been known for fantastic storytelling. Does he have sex with a hologram? No, he doesn't. The hologram watches. Cortana watches as Master Chief has sex because he removed his emotional inhibitor thing. Like he just gets horny now. And there's the Covenant have a chosen one who is also a human, even though if you know anything about Covenant lore at all, you know how fucked up that is. But she's a human, and she's a spy there for Covenant human chosen one spy. Master Chief boinks. Cortana watches. It's a lot of like. I hear people saying like, as just its own sci-fi, it's not bad. I'm like, is it though? Like, this doesn't seem like it's the most highbrow entertainment. Just saying. That's fair. Like, I don't think I'm the deepest into Halo. I've never read any of the books. I played through the games once on normal because I played the hell out of the first one, and then I played a little of the second, and then I kind of dropped off until I got back into Xbox and got Game Pass, and it's all right there. So I figured, okay, may as well just go through the entire thing. And I have it, so I did, but I only did it like once on normal. So, as opposed to when I was playing the original on Xbox and I was doing like legendary runs and all that. It's a drama show, not a sci-fi show. Yeah, and that's the. I've heard not so great things, not so great. But yeah. there's the question of who exactly is this show for, but while figuring that out, we can go ahead and just muse a bit on what other kind of creative visions the writing team from Paramount Plus's Halo TV series will come up with next for the Halo TV show. We were right when it came to the Master Chief's ass. So on that, let's see if we can figure out what they're gonna do next on my lovely list of things that are completely against the lore and would make no damn sense in the Halo universe, but they might do it because it's Silver Timeline. Major Avery Johnson will lead a war protest. His fighting with the Covenant just ain't right, and he knows it. The Arbiter will be introduced, but he will be a ruthless, mindless killer. It will just, like, no lines, nothing. He's going to be the Jason Voorhees of Halo. He's just going to slowly walk towards people. Here comes the glow sword, stab, murder. That will be the Arbiter for the TV series. Cortana will discover that she was actually a real human all along doing remote work. That's going to be the revelation there. We could also have another thing with Master Chief, get more of his human side, all of his human sides. He's going to be driving around. He's going to scratch the paint on his warthog and break down crying. Just that's a tough one. And finally, they will introduce the Flood as benevolent ghosts. So we have this poll on the YouTube community posts page starting now, and I will be sharing the link out momentarily. Here we go. There you have it. If you're watching on the Twitters, you could just pause right there and just be like, yeah, I can type all this out. That's how it works. I don't know. Master Chief is always just asexual, or maybe like a little. Well, it's not really like romantic. Like it's love, but it's not like I want to bone the blue hologram lady. It was just I love the blue hologram lady. There's a difference here. But now the Covenant that he boinked is a human, female, white and blonde. So, like, just skinny, like, she's very much just, normal, kind of, like, standard Hollywood love thing. Master Chief will become female. We already had plenty of female Spartans, but, who knows? But, yeah. Speaking of Master Chief, though, that does bring up the topic of Bungie. And this isn't exactly new news, but I just found out about it, and it is kind of relevant to me. And I wanted to talk about it. Bungie, they made Halo. This has nothing to do with Halo. This has to do with Destiny, Bungie's newest property, and the fact that YouTube has been royally fucking over people who have been making Destiny content on YouTube, because their broken DMCA enforcement system, just the broken copyright system on YouTube that is so easy to jump in and abuse and siphon money out of people, and YouTube just hands you the money and then it's like, oh well, I found out, well, slap them on the wrist, get them out of here, ban that Gmail account. They'll just make another Gmail account and then start doing it again. It's like it's a non-punishment there. And they've gotten so bad, some of the Destiny creators that they've hit are Bungie themselves, who have had to deal with that shit for so long that they are suing YouTube. They are suing Google over the crap that they've done with that. Now, this news, like I said, is old, but it's still ongoing. The lawsuit is ongoing. And as it's ongoing, there have been some updates. Back like 1 month ago, there was a statement from YouTube saying We take abuse of our copyright takedown process seriously and terminate tens of thousands of accounts every year for violating our policies. You ever think that maybe tens of thousands who are able to violate your policies might be a problem in the first place? But which prohibits submitting false information in a takedown request. A YouTube spokesperson told an Engagement over email, "We'll continue our work to prevent abuse of our systems, and we are committed to taking appropriate action against those who knowingly misuse our tools." That's great. Very nice statement. Very much on brand. However, this lawsuit is ongoing, and Bungie did kind of ask YouTube, hey, we're trying to sue the people who have been doing this stuff. They, the law says that's about $150,000 per violation, and it's either coming from them or from you. So maybe you could provide us with their information through this subpoena from the court. You have been officially subpoenaed. You're supposed to give us this information now so that we can pursue legal action against the perpetrators. 3 weeks ago, the update is YouTube denied that request. They are very committed, very, very committed to doing the right thing here. As long as the right thing is covering the asses of these fucking criminal organizations. Oh. So, yeah. Chief gets pregnant. Oh, Spartan's having kids. It's the future. We might do it. I don't know. But yeah, that's a hell of a thing. I'm hopeful something comes of that because YouTube systems are so broken. I'm constantly running into problems with it. There's like the Clown Motel review was hit with a strike for a long time because I do believe that this group actually did have the rights to the digital rights to handling that property. But they were one of the smaller groups, Greater Fool Media, who likes to engage in just throw out as many claims as possible, throw out as many strikes as possible, because it doesn't fucking matter if you're wrong. It just means you're either going to get money, or if you're proven wrong, then nothing's going to happen to you. So they just boom, 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 and the channel got a strike because with groups like that who don't give a damn about their what people think about them. It's just, okay, screw it. I mean, they're absolutely fucking me over, but they'll be fine either way. YouTube's going to have their back, and YouTube has their back so much. There's this thing with AdRev, those bastards, where they evidently were in charge of the rights to the Elvira episode for Evil Bong, which got tagged on my review of Evil Bong that came out 2 years prior. Now, they had the rights for the Elvira episode, which I obviously could not have possibly put any of that into this video because it didn't exist yet when the video was made. But having rights to that episode licensed Evil Bong for that episode. They do not own Evil Bong. But I went to YouTube about that, and YouTube sided with them, saying, well, they own Evil Bong now. I was like, no, they fucking don't. And even if they do, this was improperly filed because they shouldn't have filed this as a violation of an episode that I could not have violated because it didn't exist when my thing was made. It should have been filed as infringing on Evil Bong. If that's the claim, that's how it should have been filed. They didn't file it that way because they don't fucking own the movie. So YouTube still sided with them. Gotta love that shit. Gotta love it. Now, I'm not sure if they could go Gangnam Style on that, but I don't know. Like Duke Nukem had a bit of a glow up in the Bulletstorm DLC. I've been playing a bit of that, been having fun with that. Also got Duke Nukem Forever again because it was like $2. And I'm playing through that again, and I'm like, man, the game has some fun parts to it, but it just can't help but keep being Duke Nukem Forever the entire damn time. It's like the game starts out with that slow plotting, hey, I want to, here's an introduction to the world, like Half-Life, because the creative director was like, that's what we have to do because Half-Life did it. But then somewhere along the way, someone decided, hey, that's not exciting enough. So it instead starts off with a boss fight from Duke Nukem 3D, like just doing that again, like throw you right into the action kind of opening, but it still starts off. The first thing you do is take a piss and then write on a whiteboard. Like this, with very bad control. And it's like, oh, damn it, Duke Nukem Forever. Why do you got to do this? Anyway, it's time to move on to our next topic. Which is another lawsuit. And it has to do with that acquisition that no one can stop talking about, the Activision Blizzard acquisition by Microsoft. Now Activision Blizzard was sued by California for, well, I mean, yeah, but Activision, well, I mean, the turd in the hand is optional. The turd in the hand is optional. You have to do that. But when you're figuring out how to move around and how to interact with things, it's like the first thing you can interact with is picking up a piece of shit. So, but yeah, okay, so yeah, California was suing Activision Blizzard for the problems in the workplace. And then Activision Blizzard got purchased by Microsoft, or that's ongoing. That hasn't been finalized yet. The FTC is still doing this little investigation, all that stuff. But in the middle of all of that, New York has moved in and decided to sue Activision Blizzard, saying Activision CEO Bobby Kotick rushed to secure a takeover bid from Microsoft in order to escape liability for misconduct at the company. Which, yeah. But here's the kicker from this suit. Given Kotick's personal responsibility and liability for Activision's broken workplace, it should have been clear to the board that he was unfit to negotiate a sale of the company. But it wasn't. And now that's the thing where I'm going to have to ask a question. It's like, okay, we can all agree Bobby Kotick is kind of a piece of shit. But does that mean that he is necessarily, like, smearing feces on the wall insane and can't make a business deal like selling the company? Like, shouldn't be trusted in a room alone with female staffers, I can agree with. But can't sign on the dotted line and understand the implications of selling his company to Microsoft. That's a bit of a stretch, in my opinion. Clusterfuck of the highest order. Yeah. Well, I do have my handy dandy wheelchair Myers, but could use someone to bounce words off of. That's kind of the idea of Live and Wired. It's not supposed to just be me sitting here talking. And people have pointed out that I tend to do that and talk over Thick Black Daddy, and I'm trying to be better about that. I'm trying to. But I have the news sheet over here, and I read the whole thing out, and that does make it lean very heavily on me, because it's like the time comes for the next topic, and I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. We got to move on. Oh, well, that could be nice. Could have a little long hair challenge where it's like, oh, Epic Jason might win, and then suddenly we stretch out the curls, and oh, look at that! That's always fun. Always fun. And you play that in slow motion with like the shocked faces to help pad it out. Oh, but yeah. The suing Activision, like there's a lot that has been kind of like to this the Activision Blizzard purchase from Microsoft has been like one of the most scrutinized major purchases, and it's kind of funny. Like at the same time, the Bungie acquisition is being looked at by the FTC, and it's like, guys, they paid like $5 for these guys. They're one company, and it's still going to be pretty much independent. You don't have to worry. That's not that big of a deal. Like, I can understand the FTC looking at Microsoft purchasing Activision Blizzard. It's like, while it still leaves them in third place, and therefore is unlikely for the FTC to be like, nah, antitrust that shit. I can understand that huge of a purchase being looked at, but then it's like next week you got the Bungie acquisition, and they're like, we're looking at this too. It's like, why? Like, go away, FTC. Go away. Wait, last Lego game was made Xbox exclusive? Which one was it? I'm confused. Which Lego game? I just heard about the new Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, where it runs slightly better on Xbox, but I haven't heard anything about an Xbox exclusivity for a Lego game. But I got a different summer special planned, I'm afraid. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I try to avoid that as best I can. We could just all agree that Master Chief's sex life is not necessarily something any of us were ever interested in, and it's kind of funny to see. I just think it's funny to see a writing team that stood by the idea of removing the helmet on the first episode. Like, it's you have to see the human side, you have to see the emotion. It's like, you guys don't understand how to show that without doing that. Like, you don't understand the character that much, and how the not having his helmet removed and not seeing his face is kind of important-ish. And then they go on to be like, oh, well, he takes his helmet off in the books. It's like, yeah, the books. Do they got illustrations there? No. Then you still didn't see his face. Anyone can imagine what his face might look like. I think the closest thing to seeing his face is in Halo 2 multiplayer, where you can like clip the characters together, and technically there is some like modeling under the visor of Master Chief's face. And yes, my watch is like, yay, you're doing an excited workout here. Yes, I'm talking about Master Chief fucking. That gets the heart rate going. Nobody certain fanfic writers care about Master Chief's love life. I feel like a lot of things anymore care a little bit too much about who's fucking who. Like, to put it bluntly, there's more important shit happening in Halo than where's people's dangly bits go. Like, oh yeah. Dredd did it way better. Carl Urban or Urbane? Like, they did a fantastic job as a title character, and yeah, that was one thing that people, like fans of Judge Dredd, really did not like in the Stallone movie, was that, you know, they take his helmet off and he spends most of the movie with the helmet off, because that really missed the point of the character. That was one of the things in the Judge Dredd comics, is that you never saw his face. The helmet was his face. That's how it worked. So, yeah. Man. Oh, broke my neck. Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of lawsuits going around. A lot of lawsuits. And I'm just thinking, there was with the Activision Blizzard deal, it was the senators were that we talked about that one week. The senators were trying to step in and be like, hey, but that was like after they were all bombarded on Twitter, and you know, Twitter itself is enough of a little cesspool. But speaking of Twitter, Florida's suing them. Everyone's suing everybody. Bungie's suing Google, New York's suing Activision, and Florida's suing Twitter and Elon. And the reasoning here makes a little more sense, I'd say, than the Activision lawsuit, whereas, like, because Bobby Kotick is a douchebag, that means he wasn't mentally sound to make a business deal. The Orlando Police Pension Fund says the Delaware law forbade a quick merger because Elon Musk had agreements with other big Twitter shareholders, including his financial advisor, Morgan Stanley, and Twitter founder Jack Dorsey, to support the buyout. The fund says that these agreements made Musk, who owns 9.6% of Twitter, the effective owner of more than 15% of the company's shares. And it said that that required delaying the merger by 3 years unless 2/3 of shares not owned by him are granted approval. So that's that's a little more of an interesting realm of possibility kind of lawsuit here. Oh, God damn it, Axel! God damn it! Oh, yeah, there's a lot of delay on this stream then, isn't there? Damn. I was talking about Duke Nukem Forever there. Oh, no, my Master Chief banged the sexy human female Covenant character, and the sexy AI watched. Oh yeah, it is a curse, Julia. It is a curse. It's one of those social media things where it just kind of hits those dopamine parts of your brain and you get that addiction, and it's like, I gotta find out what's going on in the world. I gotta check. There's information I might have missed. What's this? Oh, it pisses me off. I gotta check again. Oh, that pisses me off too. Oh, it's just a oh, I do not like. Let me check Twitter real quick. Let me check Twitter. Hey, Twitter, you know what I like doing? I like playing on my Xbox Series X. I'm going to check Xbox Series X. What's the top tweets for Xbox Series X? Let's see. Rihanna is playing on an Xbox 360. That's not what I was looking for, but thank you. Oh, people are trying to flex on the sales numbers between that and the PlayStation. Okay. Oh, yesterday there was more people talking about how dumb it is to be a player. That's actually not that bad right now, but usually it's much worse. I mean, look at something else. Digital Foundry. What's their latest video? Oh, there's the Red Dragon. That's the top tweet from 4 days ago, where he's just there taking quotes and stretching it out to say that the Xbox Series S is the worst thing on the planet and is going to kill babies. Okay. Moving on. But yeah, Twitter is just you can find people talking about things in real time, but at the same time, it's mostly just people yelling at each other badly. The arguments can't be good. You're limited to 288 characters. No argument can possibly be good. And even if they did have longer limits, it's the internet. People are just going to be like, I ain't reading all that, but I'm happy for you, or sorry it happened. Like that's just kind of how it goes. I haven't watched a comedy movie in so damn long. I don't know. Dear God. When I was a lot younger, I used to watch comedy movies semi-frequently. I'm like, haha, Ace Ventura. But I don't like the second one. They got too silly. I like the first one. It felt more real. That's what people look for in their Ace Venturas. But yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just the lawsuit on but there's so much going on with whether or not Elon is going to buy Twitter and everyone losing their shit at Twitter and what have you, and it's just oh yeah, there's that too. Like there's the hashtags being manipulated, and Under the Veil has been on Twitter and finding it as there's I can't remember exactly. Damn it, I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, but things like misspellings for Justice for Johnny Depp trending higher, like the autocomplete suggesting that higher. Like they don't actually have more tweets under that, but the broken ones, the ones that people aren't using, that's what Twitter is telling you to look at first, and then just straight up not having a completion for the actual proper spelling. Once you get past all of the misspellings, it just stops suggesting things. and other things where it's like lowercase L's in place of uppercase I's, or vice versa, and just things that are very sneaky kind of things. And it's really fucked up, really fucked up. And yeah, that was one thing. Like when a lot of the stuff coming in about Elon buying Twitter was coming out, and he was saying that he was going to make things like the algorithm transparent. Suddenly, there was some shifting going on that people noticed, where people who had been previously like, "Hey guys, Twitter, you seem to be suppressing me," and Twitter's like, "No, we're not." Suddenly, their stuff started trending a lot more than it had in a long time. But now that it's coming out that it's looking less and less likely that Elon is actually going to manage this buyout, a lot of those people are getting this stuff kind of changed back. So it is what it is. But yeah, you can find on the Twitter Ms. Shannon Gibbs. If you're lucky, you can see her butt. Twitter, it's the place where everything's allowed, except for the things that aren't. It's I think I remember one person saying that on Twitter they got a ban for calling someone a dick rider. While at the same time, it is interesting that on Twitter you can post a video of someone riding a dick, and that's fine. But don't call someone a dick rider. I was thinking of saving that for the next Friday the 13th, but the problem with that is that's not this year. We're done with Friday the 13th this year, unfortunately. So, but it's a nice thing to think for that. Thank you. The Texas heat, too damn hot right now. I agree. AC's working. It is good, and I go up there every now and again to pat the flex and check just to make sure there's no water going down there. Favorite horror comedy? Probably The Voices, because the horror in it is pretty damn good, and the comedy in it is good as well. That was one that Charlie had introduced me to, and after she showed it to me, I was like, okay, I gotta review this. Oh, Chris. Oh no. Now you've done it. We've seen more asses than battles on that series. We've only seen Master Chief's ass that one time, I think. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with it too much, but I see, like, I have a Twitter, so I see people complaining about it a lot. It's one of those things where the show, like, to be fair, like when the asses showed up, I did not mention that on Live and Wired. But now that Master Chief's fucking, I'm there like, hey guys, remember the Halo TV series? So I guess they're getting what they want out of that. Well, you know the guys that work the hot dog, like, street vending things? Well, just imagine, like, sitting on it all day long. You're pretty close. I'm gonna check it out. I've always been into the Jurassic Park series, whether or not I want to admit it. Dinosaurs, that was my thing as a kid, but now I'm here as an old curmudgeon, like, they should have more feathers, god damn it. They're fucking birds, you son of a bitch. You knew that in the first movie, but now you're like, no, I need my monsters. We need birds. Goddamn frog DNA. An important question? Digiman. Okay. Okay, well, we got to... Okay, Twitter, Elon, suing, lawsuits. Everyone's suing everyone. And we got the Friday the 13th, and that's why. The reason we haven't had a new Friday the 13th in such a long damn time. It's all the fucking lawsuits. All the fucking lawsuits. There was a little article about this. This isn't necessarily like news, but there was an article written on CNN on Friday the 13th, yesterday, that kind of covered this to a slight degree. And it was an interesting little read. And I just was trying to get what I could figure out of that. And yeah, Jason Voorhees has been hanging out in copyright purgatory. There's a law written to extend copyright terms to contractors versus full-time employees that puts the rights of the original Friday the 13th movie into the hands of Victor Miller, working as a contractor of Sean S. Cunningham. Which means that a Friday the 13th sequel or reboot has to go through him, but they don't technically own the rights to the name Friday the 13th or anything in the series past the first movie. Therefore, that's protected under its own copyright. So if you would have Jason, Jason Voorhees is in the first Friday the 13th, but you would need to have him depicted no older than he was depicted in the original, because any aging up of him is copyrighted under a different owner. And so you'd have to have, you could have a Friday the 13th, you could have a movie with Jason Voorhees, but they can't call it Friday the 13th, and he has to be 10 years old. Like that's kind of the thing we got there, and it's like, and there could be something worked out if Victor and like Sean S. Cunningham like hash things out. Cunningham resident. I don't know who's alive and who's not anymore. But yeah, there's a not very good negotiation going on there. It's Paramount, so it's all but inevitable. Yeah. Made an entire folder's worth of stuff for yes. Thanks for all the hours and gentlemen, but I can't seem to find a way to get them to you. Business email. Not really. My DMs are not open on Twitter unless I'm following someone. Like it has to be like jeez. Okay, I don't make that very easy now, do I? I do not. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Proper business email. Because if it's in my regular email, it's just gonna get all buried under all of the Pen 15 extension offers. What's your Friday the 13th where Jason survived in the woods? Like 10-year-old Jason Voorhees surviving the attempt to drown him, or drowning but then coming back. I don't know. It's like he is the kind of like there's the angle that Jason is undead, like he did die, but he comes back, and well, it's like going from Friday the 13th Part 1 to Part 2. It was kind of Jason didn't die, but he played he's a world hide and seek champion, and then he comes back and starts murdering people. But then after Part 4, then you get to Part 6, and he comes back from the dead. And very clearly, like, yes, he was dead, and now he's not. But then there's kind of a sort of retconny explanation for that later on, where it's like, well, there's the Book of the Dead. Pamela had tried to bring him back and kind of turned him into a Deadite kind of thing going on. But that's... It is tough. So Pamela would have to have done that while she was still alive, and she very clearly gets decapitated at the end of Friday the 13th Part 1, and Pamela doesn't come back. Like, her head shows up in Part 2, but the ending where she opens her eyes was edited out. They thought that was a bit too hokey for that series. No, Jason Takes Manhattan. That's how you do it. Well, I've been covering all the super chats up to this point, and we're almost at the super chat time anyway, so I may as well cover this. I have a question. Do you have any tips for making video essays about movies and avoiding copyright issues? Well, to be honest, like every single video I upload gets hit with copyright stuff. I just fight them. But like the way it usually works is you gotta keep any kind of clips you use insanely short. Like you gotta have it like less than 5 seconds, maybe even less than that. I did that once before, and I absolutely hated how jumbled everything ended up, so I still keep it to the 10 seconds, which is my standard, but everything gets hit. It goes for sound as well. So it's like you can try and avoid it, because it's not whether or not you are violating copyright law. It's whether or not the content ID bot can recognize the stuff that you're putting up. So yeah, it's just try and keep clips as short as possible. Maybe mess with some, like crop some things strangely, mess with the time scale a bit, adjust the hue slightly, whatever you can do to trick a robot into not realizing what it is. That's what you got to do to avoid that. Otherwise, it's just fight it. That's what I do. I don't know if I have that kind of time for that. Sorry about that. What's my experience watching original Nightmare on Elm Street, and where I think the series will go? That's a toughie, because I did review all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets in the summer of Freddy vs. Jason, but now, like, it's been a long time since that. But yeah, I would like more Nightmare on Elm Street. I think they'd have to reboot it again. The last reboot didn't go over too well. Yeah, pretty much they'd have to reboot it again, but it would have to work this time. If it doesn't work, then that's it. No more. You can't say the third time's the charm. That's the point where no. Yeah. We can all be in agreement on that. Especially Bungie. They fucking hate it. They hate it so much they're suing YouTube over it. Everyone's suing everybody. Everybody suing everybody. Oh, I really like a new Friday the 13th. Like when I went into the summer of Freddy vs. Jason, I was there like, okay, I'm a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, and I really am not particularly familiar with Friday the 13th. Never really jumped out at me. But ooh, Mahler ripped the Predator apart. Felix too could talk for hours on EFAP. Oh, about the Predator. Oh god. I think was it on the gaming channel where I did a reading of the leaked script to the Predator? The one that was somehow even worse. Like, there was so much, like, and there were still some pretty terrible scenes in the Predator that were there from the original script. It was like, well, I don't know about original script. I don't know which. There's a lot of rewrites that go on. What the fuck is EFAP? Every Frame a Pause. It's Mahler's sort of group podcast kind of live stream thing where they're watching something and they're kind of reviewing it in real time. And effectively, that's how it works: is every single frame they pause it and talk about the next frame for about 10 more minutes, and then play another bit, and then pause again. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is that? It's a fun little thing. Yeah. There are new host approaches. Name under the veil. Don't know what to put for you to ask her. I'm confused as to what the language speaking of talk. Oh god. Yeah, the Angry Jones CBS. Yeah, he's reviewed the Halo TV series and Star Trek not particularly positively, and he's been getting manually claimed. And it's kind of clear that it's because the copyright system is busted. Anyone can do it. They get no repercussions for false ones. And it's just an easy way to silence somebody. And there's no protections for him. That's really fucked up. Like, they're not supposed to be able to do this, but he has to fight it, and it takes time. And they can just silence dissent. Ghostbusters versus Freddy Krueger. Yeah, you'd think they'd have the edge. But I don't know. Freddy always has a way of surprising you. Always. But it is time. It is time for the results of our poll. Oh boy, what have we done? What is coming to the Halo TV series? Okay, we got 287 votes. And one comment. Ilum Guy has another idea. Halo rings are now not created by the Forerunners, but by ancient humanity, because humanity warlike and bad. That's yeah, I'm gonna give him a heart. That is gold right there. Humans were the real Forerunners all along. But Major Avery Johnson leading a war protest only came in at 12%. The low ones are all very close together, but they are distinct. Arbiter being a ruthless, mindless killer is only 14%. Master Chief scratching the paint on his warthog and crying came in at 17%. 19% goes to the Flood being benevolent ghost, which means number one at 38%. We learn that Cortana was a real human remote working all along. Watch that. Watch that in episode 10, probably. Oh, God. Oh, God. I want Aliens versus Vampire, the movie. Now, like aliens like xenomorph aliens, or aliens like gray aliens? And vampire like vampire? Or gray or vampire like the I Am Legend vampire? Like after that's I Am Legend 2. Now, like Will Smith ran off. He's doing his thing because he survived in the movie. But then aliens come, and now everyone's really fucked. We got aliens and vampires and Will Smith, and he can only slap so much. We thought to go into EFAP, and yeah, ER got the L, ER. I got the same treatment from Paramount on his Halo video, because his video did better than theirs. Oh, yeah. Now, let's keep my planet's name out your fucking mouth. Oh, God. The Nature Unleashed series. Oh, God. There are more of them. I think I was checking before, but I don't know if I saw any more, or I was able to get them, or maybe they would have been very expensive. But, oh, God, the Nature Unleashed series. That's a classic on the Decker Shadow channel. Oh my God, those Nature Unleashed videos. It's science fiction with the emphasis on science, but with a lot of creative, like artistic merit. Like not merit, but artistic license is what I'm looking for. Artistic license. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, the Nature Unleashed series. I remember how much pain you cause. I could do it so well now too. Like that was like way back when I was like not as comfortable in front of the camera. I feel like I was more comfortable than I make myself out to be. But I don't know. Looking back at my older videos, I find it very hard to watch myself. I just like, hi, this is that, and this is that, and then when it comes something where I'm supposed to show a little emotion, I show way too much emotion. How could oh my God, this stuff and this. The people say that I yell more often now sometimes, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of having fun with it now. I'm enjoying myself. I'm hamming it up and telling the story like with all of my heart. Like I guess like I liked how I did it then, and I like how I do it now. And both of us are different people. That's kind of how it is. Who is the Halo show for? 343. The writing is all over it. Too many quoted lines from 343 games. Ooh. I yell more because I retired from the forehead. That's true. I don't silently just kind of give the camera a look anymore and give it a little like that does not occur anymore on the show. Stats reviews. I feel like I could do a top 10 kills after this year's summer special. Oh God! But the second video of, oh man, it is about time for that shameless self promotion, and I gotta. Oh man! Oh yeah! Is an Evil Dead. That's one thing that I wanted to do, like this week, was either play Evil Dead or play Friday the 13th or both. Like that's a thing that I could have done, but I didn't because I was just like so boned on actually getting work done this week, and I don't know why. I think that was all this mental block there, and there's just life being life and trying to get in the right headspace and what have you. Because unfortunately, like on the shameless self-promotion part of this show, I do not have a teaser for the next. I don't have a teaser for the next episode going up. I'm still relatively early on in editing that. Now I'm going to continue editing it tonight, like past my end work time, and I'm supposed to be off of work and what have you. And I'm going to continue editing it tomorrow. But I don't have a video for tomorrow either. And I'm like, fuck, what do I do? Because I'm supposed to have one because YouTube is going to be like, if I don't have something to upload, I'm kind of fucked. That's why I had that really quick video last week. But I don't want to do that again. And there's the video I'm supposed to have, the Patreon goal that's been hit for like a month now. I was going to the censorship of historical events in Call of Duty. Now, that's interesting to me because I haven't really played Call of Duty and I'm not a historian, but it pisses me off, I'll tell you that. Oh, geez. Video tutorial of me brushing. I could do a video of how I take care my hair routine, which involves showering, which means I'm gonna have to wear something like shorts. I don't have a bathing suit really, but I can't just like. And also that the fogging of the lens is gonna be a problem. Fuck. What do I do? That one took a good amount of work though. It's like it's not a super quick kind of. Oh, that's nice and low effort. I love that idea, but I hate ASMR so much. Like I don't enjoy it. Like I don't understand the appeal at all. Like if I get that tingles in the back of my back feeling, it's not a pleasant one. I'm like, that would probably get me on trending. That would get me on trending. But I do have like, let's see. I guess I can show you a bit of what I'm working on right now. Like I got the preliminary editing done for my stuff, which is the preliminary editing that takes the longest. The movie itself, that preliminary editing I can get done in like an hour and a half or maybe an hour, maybe less. It all depends on how quickly I can get around to getting everything all chopped up where I want it to be, and then I can put it all together and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I got a nice one. I got a nice one coming up for Wednesday if it doesn't get caught in copyright problems and such. What's it? Here's the guy PewDiePie shouted out to in his Death Note video, AG Boy, EFAP when. I haven't heard anything from Mauler, but then again, I haven't asked Mauler. So, yeah. That's oof. I gotta figure out something real fast for tomorrow because that's the thing about the 2 videos a week is the reason I'm doing it is because YouTube absolutely demands it, and I have been turning things around on the channel, but low efforts like crappy content is not really great. I want it to be worth something. That's why I still edited and still had all this stuff. I feel like I could have titled the last one better. I could have had the title for the last video be something like explaining that it's a story about my AC instead of just saying that it's, random chat, which, it was a random chat, but it might have been interested a little bit more people to hear that there was problems with my AC than to just be like, oh, he's standing by the lake talking. Woohoo. Do cold showers help for hair? I don't know. I have not tested it. I am not about to do that shit. Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. The Dread X Collection? No. 10 devs, 10 games, 1 week to make them, 2 and onwards have a. Well, I do have one thing I can talk about. Maybe there's something that I do have that it would be a video to make, but I don't know because it's kind of my dark secret that no one's supposed to know about. Because you see, I had all of that stuff going on with, hey, my channel's in dire straits and I need to make more videos because things are going really bad. And suddenly everyone jumped up in massive support, which was like, holy shit, thank you guys so much. And then I was like, I really want a keytar, but the keytar I want is $1,000. And then I was like, oh shit, I have to fix my air conditioner. Now, what I neglected to mention is that before I found out that my air conditioner was so fucked up and that I was going to have to spend $1,600 to fix it, I kind of got a keytar. Now, it requires a little explanation. Because that one isn't the $1,000 one, don't worry. That one is an Alesis Vortex Wireless Generation 1. Brand new, those ran $300. I got this on eBay for $100. I went for the best I could, for the lowest price I could. And this is just kind of how it is now. So, but then it's like I have the big problem with the AC and all that going there, and I've got all the people helping to support the channel, which is I am still extremely thankful for, and that's also really helpful for paying for the AC. But in the meantime, I've got this luxury expense. So does it work? Yes and no. The wireless dongle was included in the listing, but unfortunately UPS ripped the frickin' thing open, probably because someone was trying to jack something from it. I mean, the entire top was open. Like it was taped down with black duct tape. I think duct tape. It was big, thick black tape, very good tape. Very sturdy tape, but it was just like ripped open completely, in one corner just completely ripped off. And I think it's because, I don't know if you noticed this, but the economy's not doing quite so great right now. And the UPS guys around here are not the most trustworthy of sorts. So they probably were driving down like looking like, hey, big house, big lawn, big box. Let's see what the fuck we got here. Oh, it's a keytar. No, but it being open and such, maybe it was taped to the flap on the corner. I don't know. That flap was missing. It was that whole corner of the box was missing, and I was like, okay, great. But I went down to Walmart and I got an $8 printer cable. I plug it into my Surface, and boom, there we go. It's working. I tried contacting Alesis about anything involving it, though they don't support the first generation wireless anymore. They sent me the links for the second generation customization software and such, but I don't know if it even really seems to work with this, and it's frustrating. And I don't know how to play. Like I'm not a keyboardist, but that was the thing. I wanted to be a keytarist. So I've been going through, like, looking up keytar learning tutorials and applying them to my keytar. And I am happy that this is the path that I've taken, because there are idiosyncrasies with a keytar that are generally not brought up in most keyboard and piano lessons. Like, they say, hey, find your middle C. You know where the middle C is on that? Depending on the setting, it can be in 9 different positions. 5 of those inaccessible. But it's still technically there. If you want to know the location of your middle C, that's just kind of how a keytar rolls. It's 37 keys. It has to move the octaves around if you want to be able to play all the notes. So, there's all that, and I'm trying to get, learn proper technique while also, there's technically there's 4 C notes on the keytar. There's the top, the lowest one. The second one is the middle C on the 0 default octave setting. And then there's your third C, and then the last key on the end is also a C. Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't have very much I'm not very good at my practice. I'm having to learn how to read sheet music from scratch. Like, I don't know. I can noodle my ass off on the keytar. I noodle but I can't read sheet music so well yet. So I'm there trying to practice I'm just trying to do that. I'm not even worrying about the metronome yet, though I know I'm going to have to. As soon as I'm actually able to read the stuff and figure out where my hand goes, do the thing. But a lot of playing keytar versus playing keyboard is most of the time you can't actually see the keys. So playing by feel is very damn important. That's another reason I'm very happy to have the keytar to learn on in the first place. Learn to be a keytarist rather than learning keyboard and then getting a keytar. I'm learning keytar like I wanted to. Is that? But yeah, that's I could make a little video on that. I could make a quick, easy video playing keytar, just doing a little there, talking about that. And yeah. Also, that particular one has a sticker, the Illuminati's. And it was sold to me on eBay from a gentleman named Benjamin from Arizona. And the Illuminati's are also from Arizona, and one of their online profiles is managed by a man named Benjamin. And also there are pictures of the band, and in one of them they're using an Elise's Vortex Wireless Generation 1 that has an Illuminati sticker on it exactly there. So I think I got the keytar from the Illuminati's. If anyone knows them, if anyone's in Arizona, they've seen the Illuminati's. They sold me their keytar. Just so you did. That's how it went. Played a guitar with a Freddy glove. Did I? Who did? I mean, I got a bass. I've been learning bass better. I'm a lot better at bass than I used to be. Oh yeah. Shameless self-promotion time. Follow Under the Veil on Twitter as Miss Shannon Gibbs. You have to wear glasses so I can see. I'm nearsighted. I am myopic, so I can see enough here. Like, happy Friday, the damn it. But everything does have a little bit of a blur to it here. But also being nearsighted, it means that in my virtual reality headset, I need some lenses to not make the world all blurry there. If you're farsighted, it's allegedly not a problem. If you have a VR headset, you just don't have to wear glasses. But if you're nearsighted, you're kind of fucked. Oh, C sharp. Can you see sharp? Can you see sharp? I'm gonna read sheet music one day. But yes, that's all the time we have for anyone joining at the end who is wondering about the title card. Yeah, Halo. That Master Chief boinks the Covenant Lady in the Halo TV series in episode 8, I think. And Cortana watches and fuck. And everyone sued everyone. That was the show for today. I got Halloween Kills coming next week, and I'm probably going to make a keytar video really fast. So, thank you all for watching. I have been Decker Shadow. And remember, if anyone is doing anything that you don't like, just fucking sue them.